सोशल मीडिया पे तो सभी लोग चेक करते हैं अबाउट हाउ टू हैंडल मनी, हाउ टू हैंडल आवर finances better, how to buy a car, how to save, invest. But when it comes from an expert of more than 28 years of experience, then वहाँ बात बनती है, right? Which is your source is really important when it comes to your financial education, your investing, your financial literacy, right? So that is the reason why we had with us CA Ruchika Bhagat, MD of Neeraj Bhagat and Co., who is not coming from a social media perspective, but coming from her 28 years of experience, what she brought to table today in our conversation. So this was really an interesting and an insightful conversation, and it was very to the point. So you must watch the podcast till the end to help you understand better how to manage your money in 2025, right? So if you, apart from these questions, if you have any such questions you have to ask CA Ruchika, you can always write to us or write to her. We have mentioned her details in the comment section below, right? And if you want to be a part of my podcast, you can always reach out to us, as Kahaniya is all about you guys, about your story. So have fun watching this podcast. Hi Ruchika, welcome to Kahaniya by Tookwings blog. How are you?
Hello, Anjali. I'm totally fine. Thank you. Thank you for calling me on this podcast.
Great, amazing. So, at Kahaniya, we have this tradition that we start our podcast with one story, one kahani, which basically defines you. Uh, I mean, there are a lot of stories that defines us, but again, we want to hear from you one specific story, maybe around your entrepreneurship journey or something that you would want to share with our audiences. And then we'll, hit you up with a lot of questions around entrepreneurship.
One thing that defines me is patience and consistency. I think these are the two words that define.
Hmm.
So, in case if you want to know the story behind it,
Right.
so mm, me and my husband, both of us, we started this practice. So, I'm into practice. First of all, let me introduce myself. So, I'm CA Ruchika Bhagat, you are aware of that.
Hmm.
And I'm into practice from last 28 years. In fact, I can say that once I cleared my CA, so my vision and my husband's vision was very much to have our own practice rather than going for job. So
Hmm.
from day one, we started our own practice. So since we were the first generation CA, so obviously, yes, we worked hard. And then almost somewhere in, I think, 1990, 99, no, 2000, in 2000 we got married. So it was somewhere in 2020, you can say, not 20, but 1990, you can say that. I took a gap just to look after my kids. So I was no more working. But unfortunately, in 2021, almost after 11 years, yes. So, uh, due to, unfortunately, I lost my husband due to COVID season. So,
Hmm.
after a huge gap, then again, I joined the setup, I joined the profession. And as I said, consistency and persistence that I followed. So, I think because of that, still I am here sitting
Hmm.
before you, and now we are having this podcast.
Amazing. So, when we talk about entrepreneurship, patience and consistency, these are key. These are very important part of being an entrepreneur, right? Every entrepreneur must have these qualities, I would say. So, hearing from you about your journey as an entrepreneur and with your experience, what do you think should be the qualities that an entrepreneur must have?
Look, as I said, patience and persistence, they are the basic foundation of any business. If in case you are an entrepreneur, not only entrepreneur, I think even if you're in the job, still, uh, they are the basic platform of your life. What I believe is, but apart from this, being entrepreneur, additionally, you should have risk-taking capacity. You should have that feel. In fact, you should have that aura to convey to your team that
Hmm.
I am there behind you.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it. I'm there.
Hmm.
Keep going. Even if you make mistakes, no issues. Keep going. I'm there. So
Right.
I
And
think
right.
these are the main basic things that each and every entrepreneur must have.
Right, right. So, how should one, of course, risk-taking capacity should be there, but how should one develop that? Someone who is starting their journey and they're confused. So, how do you think that a person can develop that quality?
Totally agree to this. That look, this is not something that is inbuilt in each and every person.
Right.
So each and every person has different nature. But yes, I think by and large, as in when you start doing your own business. So initially, yes, people are very much reluctant in taking risks. And
Hmm.
even I think you should not take big risks in your business
Hmm.
initially when you are starting it.
Hmm.
Maybe with passage of time, when you get experience, with age, you learn the things, and then you come to know to what extent you have to take the risk, how much you have to take the risk, and how much should be at stake by taking the risk. So
Hmm.
calculation should be there.
Hmm.
As you said, rightly said, that it is not inbuilt in each and every entrepreneur. But as I said, with age, with experience, it do come. If in case you are just a beginner, what I believe is you should go slow and steady.
Hmm.
You should have patience. Future will be yours.
Right, absolutely. So, when we talk about entrepreneurs who are just beginning their journey, so yes, as you mentioned, patience should be there, consistency should be there, risk-taking appetite should be there. But then, once you start that journey, failure is bound to happen. You are going to fall, wherever you are in your journey, right? So, for some cases, people just take it like they just don't want to continue after that failure, right? So, do you have a story to share how you navigated any such failures in life, and then built your own, you know, on empire?
Actually, I tell you a basic truth.
Hmm.
In fact, till date, after having a 28 year of experience, sometimes I even fear to take certain decisions. And at times it do happens your decisions go wrong.
Hmm.
It is not that always you are a good decision maker just because you have such a good experience or just because you are very intelligent or anything like that.
Hmm.
So हर दिन आप गिरते हो और हर दिन आप उठते हो. It's like that. But
Right.
गिरते तो सभी है. जो उठता है, he is the winner.
Right. Right. Absolutely. So when we talk about entrepreneurship, so as you mentioned, you were always you have always been practicing by yourself, right? So being a female or a woman entrepreneur, how was your journey different from any other? Do you think it was different, or was it same as any other entrepreneur out there?
We all know ours is a patriarchal society. Yes, even I have faced that bias, gender bias in my practice. So initially, what used to happen was like now, not now, maybe because like I have such a good experience, and now I'm like people know, they know my caliber, they know my knowledge, they know me. But yes, in the initial stage, it used to happen like whenever client used to visit uh, to a firm, and I used to guide him, I used to suggest him. At the end, he always used to go to my husband.
Hmm.
Sir, can you check? This is what ma'am has drafted. Is it
Hmm.
right or wrong? So
Hmm.
literally, I used to pissed off at that moment, but not now. So I'm not facing it now. But yes, that thing is there. Still, it is the mindset of the people. Even though we said that we are modern or we are like in the 21st century, getting into 22nd century, but still, that mindset is still there.
Right. That's so true. And as you mentioned that point about people going back to your husband for fact checking or accuracy.
Exactly, for rechecking what all I have done.
Right, right. So, some for let's say a female entrepreneur, how do they navigate their journey in your view?
Look, being a female entrepreneur, uh, I think in today's world, uh, women are playing huge role. It's not about only with entrepreneurship with regard to the children future, everything.
Hmm.
So uh, they are more financially aware of, if you say, they are more educated,
Hmm.
and they have more options. In fact, when I say this, they have a lot more, not options, not in the sense where what to do and how to do. It is
Hmm.
that they have a lot of information available to them, and
Hmm.
lot of government supports initiatives are also there for them.
Hmm.
So I think in today's world, though world is changing, though perception is changing, but still somehow I can say that that biasness, gender bias is still there, but still
Right.
a lot
So,
of changes have come.
right, right. So, as I'm speaking to a CA herself, right? So, why not we talk about financial literacy and how it is important for women to be financially literate and not just like कि वो होता है ना कि schooling तक we have done our maths and accounts and stuff like that, but more than that.
So as I said, that it is not about only as an entrepreneur,
Hmm.
it is also about your children's futures. So
Right.
I think now women, they do understand the financial literacy.
Hmm.
They, since they are aware of this, that is why they are able to pass that valuable lesson to the future generations. They
Hmm.
are more independent. Like they know what to achieve, how to achieve, where they have to spend, how they have to save even.
Hmm.
So they are the one who plant the seed for their future childrens to grow financially independent.
Hmm.
I think being a woman, you must be financially literate.
Hmm. Right. And how do you suggest that women can do that? Not like not just entrepreneurs, but sitting at home, how can they do that?
As I said, there are so many different ways. In fact, nowadays social media is so trending. So
Hmm.
if once you see the post on Insta regarding anything regarding investments, lot of other posts will be following. So there
Hmm.
are so
Hmm.
many other ways, so many methods through which you can learn. So best part is to educate yourself. I think almost all women, even if they are, you are sitting at home, even if you are going out, but still you should educate yourself with regarding the financial literacy. That is, you can attend the workshops. There are so many financial experts online. You can take help of them. You can make budgets. You can track the expenses. Then you can look to the various funding sources. What are the
Hmm.
funding sources? As I said, the government grants are also there. Business loans specifically for women are also there. Venture
Hmm.
capitals are there. Crowdfunding is there. So you must be aware of all that.
Hmm.
Apart from this, if you don't have this facility, you can seek for mentorship. There are so many experienced entrepreneurs who specifically advise, who give the financial advice, like financial advisor, they give specifically financial help regarding this. And as I said, that government policies are there, so you have to be updated regarding government policies. And
Hmm.
above all, even if you are getting the support, then also you should invest wisely. This is what I always suggest, so that you should have financial stability.
Hmm. Absolutely. So when we talk about investing, I think for women, gold has been the best investment option till date. But what other areas can you suggest for investment?
There are so many options where you can invest. So
Hmm.
when I say there are so many options where you can invest, so investment options do lot depend upon what sort of investment, what sort of security, and for how long this security you want.
Hmm.
So that is very important. For example, if you are conservative and you have a long-term option and you are very conservative, you're very afraid of that maybe that your finances will be lost, your investment will be lost, or returns will be less in future. You can go with the government securities. There are Sukanya Samriddhi, there NSC, then PPF is there, bank FDs are there. In
Hmm.
case if you're very aggressive one, someone
Hmm.
like me, then you can invest in mutual funds, equity investments, gold bonds are there. So, but as you said, rightly said, that gold investment is there, that always charms women. But nowadays, you can also, if you want to invest wisely, gold bonds are there, ETF are there, and
Hmm.
nowadays, even women are interested in investing in real estate. So even that can
Hmm.
be done. In fact, if you are entrepreneur, you can go for crowdfunding. there are cryptocurrencies, there are angel investments. So many options are there. It is just that you have to explore the option, you have to match them with your requirements, you have to match them with the time for which you want to invest. So I think these are the basic things that you should consider before investing anywhere.
Hmm, hmm, hmm. No, absolutely. And specifically for this year, do you have any specific 2, 3 options that should be considered by people for investment?
Look, till now, if you see, uh, global political war is going on, so much
Hmm.
tariff war is going on. So, and looking to the market,
Hmm.
so I think it is not very wise to spend in equity. So if you are, as I take, you have a good risk appetite, then you
Hmm.
may go for a equity. But I think in today's scenario, it is better to go for debt funding. It is better to go for a safe funding
Hmm.
than taking high risk.
Right, absolutely. So, when we talk about your journey, we see that you have guided a lot of entrepreneurs out there, and not just in India, globally as well. So, what do you see that is there a difference between how people abroad work and how people in India function, like when it comes to entrepreneurship?
In fact, you will be surprised to know, Anjali. To be very frank, I tell you, Indian people, they are very cautious while investing,
Hmm.
and they are very smart while investing.
Hmm.
So even if people are or anywhere around the world, they are almost same.
Hmm.
First of all, but when specifically I'm talking about Indians, Asian community, they are very smart regarding where they are investing, how they are investing, what return they will be getting.
Hmm.
So they choose very wisely for
Hmm.
investing.
Hmm.
So I think scenario has been changed. I don't know otherwise, but I must. I'm full of praise of Indian community. They are very shrewd while investing, I must say.
Hmm. 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 Right. So, in between, you mentioned about cryptocurrencies as well. What is your opinion on investing in crypto?
Personally, look, I don't favor cryptocurrencies. So I
Hmm.
think more and more young generation is into it.
Hmm.
So cannot comment on it right now, but personally, if you ask me, I'm not in favor of cryptocurrency, but maybe future is for cryptocurrency. This I can say.
Right,
Not
right.
now, but maybe future.
Not now, but maybe in future. Absolutely.
Yes, exactly. So I must say one thing, since a lot of youngsters, even I met so many youngsters who are investing, and nowadays, in fact, companies are paying in cryptocurrency
Hmm.
rather than paying in cash or paying through your bank account. They are paying in cryptocurrency. So lot of youngsters, they are dealing in cryptocurrencies, but in cryptocurrencies also there are different types of cryptocurrencies. Some cryptocurrencies are like they give you safe investment, safe in the sense there is a threshold limit for encashing those cryptocurrencies. So
Hmm.
I think, in fact, before trading into cryptocurrencies, or if in case you are taking cryptocurrencies as a part of remuneration or consultancy, if you are providing any to any person outside India, you must check which cryptocurrency you are getting.
Right, right. And as you mentioned about the youth of the country, so do you see any patterns or any changes in how young generation works and how people have been working since ages? So is there a difference in these new Gen Zs or millennials, how they're functioning when it comes to financial literacy, investments, or entrepreneurships?
Anjali, you will be surprised to know, matlab, throughout my journey, throughout these 28 years of
Hmm.
my practice,
Hmm.
I have seen nowadays youngsters, they are very much inclined, they are very much focused
Hmm.
on what they have to do, where they have to spend.
Hmm.
So thanks to, maybe thanks to
Hmm.
social media में if you scroll down, वहाँ पे हर उसमें, if you are into this financial investments, if you scroll down, so हर दूसरी रील में क्या होगा, अगर आप 20 की एज में करते हैं, इन्वेस्ट करते हैं, till 60 you will get this much, till 40 you will get this much, till this you will get this much. So they are so focused. Even my daughter, as in when she passed out 12th class, so she was, Mummy, मेरे को मेरा डीमैट अकाउंट खुलवा दो. I
Hmm.
want to invest in shares.
Hmm.
So out of 6,000 of her pocket money, she used to spend 4,000
Hmm.
in shares.
Hmm. Oh.
So this is how Gen Z is working, I
Hmm.
must say. And to most of the young generation, like I have been giving lectures in college also. So
Hmm.
normally they come up with this question, how we can spend, where we can invest. It's not
Right.
spend, but where we can invest, how we can invest. So they are so much inclined into earning more money, and they are so much inclined into the options. They are exploring different options where they can spend, where they can get good returns. So this is something a very positive, I think, note that we are getting from the young generation. And maybe because parents, especially women, they are more financially literate. That is why even kids are like that.
Right. Right. Absolutely. I think curiosity is there in the young generation. They are curious to where to invest and how to earn more interest as well. Right. So there.
Exactly. They are more exposed to, actually, they are more exposed to the market. They are more exposed to the different options. So in
Hmm.
our days, we were not having so many options. It was just through newspaper only that you
Hmm.
used to get information, or through TV channels. That's it. But nowadays, there are so many options. You
Hmm.
just Google it,
Hmm.
you will get to know.
Hmm. Hmm.
I
Hmm.
think maybe that is helpful to them. And this is something good.
Right. You seem very positive about social media helping in young students or maybe women in getting that curiosity out of the bag, right? So, but do you think that is it the right means when we talk about learning finance or educating yourself? Do you think is it the right means to rely on or
Okay, so recently I visited one doctor. So what was written at the entrance was Google पढ़ के यहाँ नहीं आई है. So look, everything has pros and cons.
hmm,
So it is, one thing is there that you Google it and you get it. Second thing is how much reliable the information is that you are getting. So
right.
that is very important. So it
Hmm,
should come from the reliable resources. So because if I am typing some one word, I get so many options for that. I get so many articles, blogs on that. So
hmm,
it is not that all those blogs, all those articles, they are authenticated, they are good to go.
hmm,
So you must, the source should be properly checked.
hmm,
Reliability should be there, credibility should be there from where you are getting the information. That is very important, I must.
hmm.
Blindly, you cannot trust each and every matter or each and every content that is there on social media.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, all right. So when we talk about social media, that is the case. But do you, by any chance, do you also create any sort of videos or maybe blogs or articles which can be helpful for people out there?
I guess I do create, like whenever something new is there with income tax, whenever budget is there, when whatever I think like that is something new, and my clients must be aware of this. So I normally share all the information with my clients. I normally share all the information with my team also. So
Hmm,
if anything, like any all of a sudden any new law has been introduced, or any changes there in act, so
hmm,
and I'm aware of that. So I try to give that information to my team, to give that information to my clients. I
hmm,
do
hmm.
that. That is very frequent, something that is very frequent, which I do.
Right. I think that is important as well because as you spoke about,
Foundation of knowledge should be there.
right. So, because as you spoke about reliable sources, that one who has more than 28 years of experience is obviously a reliable source. So, maybe, instead of trusting anything out there, people should uh, cut the clutter and decide who to follow and who to trust.
Totally agree. So this is one advice to Gen Z, that even though you are getting the information, but you should check the authenticity of the information, the source of information from where you are getting it. It is
Ab-
not that each and every reel that is coming. on financial knowledge or financial advisory, that will be true.
Absolutely, because even I have observed this pattern, like among my friends also, like, when we are scrolling these reels, and as you mentioned, that particular reel of if you are in this age group, then you should invest this amount to buy a car in this year, or buy a house in that year, or, we trust those reels and those content as well, and we start investing. That is a good thing. That I think is a good thing, absolutely. There's a cue towards investing. But again,
That is very inspiring when you see that, yes, if in case I'm investing this much at this age, I'll be getting that much at that age. So that is
right.
very inspiring, undoubtedly, but it
Mm.
should be trustful.
Absolutely. So let's talk about, you are working with the team, and how do you manage everything? I mean, of course, you have years of experience, but we want to know from you, for someone who is just beginning, how do someone manage their team during their entrepreneurial journey?
Look, management is an art that you learn with passage of time. What I believe is, though some people might be having it
Mm,
in their blood, like since birth, since Iraqi, they might be having it, but they are the lucky ones, I must say. But
mm,
for remaining, I think this is art that you learn by passage of time, that you learn with experience.
mm.
And this is not something that you can just mug up and then you will learn it. It comes with your experience.
Right, right. So, do you want to share anything that you see positive happening in 2025 when it comes to finance?
Yes, I must say, look, even though if you see a lot of tariff war is going on, geopolitical war is something else, but a lot of tariff war is going on. If you see the recent change in European policies, then USA government has been changed. But
Hmm,
I think in India, government is moving towards protectionism of domestic market. So
hmm,
that is very positive note from the government,
hmm,
what I believe is. So they are more inclined towards to protect the Indian market, to protect Indian exporters. So even if we won't be able to export the goods outside India, still we must have that much consumer market in India where we can sell the products, we can consume the goods. So I think yes, in 2025, I'm very positive about Indian growth.
right.
Maybe because of the government policies, maybe because the way India is going, maybe because our GDP that we have. So hardly few countries in the world are having same GDP or running parallel to India. But that is something very positive.
Right, right. Absolutely. So we talk about investments, financial literacy, business, entrepreneurship teams. But if we have to, sum up, and you have to give one advice to people watching the podcast, what would be your advice in general for anyone who is dealing with, I think everyone who is dealing with money and finance?
And look, one thing, as I always say, you must save and you invest wisely. Look,
Hmm,
saving is a very good habit.
hmm,
Even if you are a youngster, even if you claim that I am earning less, but
hmm,
still you should save.
hmm,
That is something really very important, what
hmm,
I advise to the people.
hmm,
Then comes one thing is saving. Since you are having that habit of saving, then
hmm,
second step comes where to invest.
hmm,
Then where to invest, as I always say, you must invest wisely
hmm,
depending upon your risk taking capacity. Even if you don't have any risk taking capacity, no issues regarding that. Don't
hmm,
keep your money with yourself. You deposit it in bank.
hmm,
Get interest on it, please. No
hmm,
issues. You can buy NSE, PPF, anything like that. You can buy bonds also. But do invest. Keeping money idle, पैसे को पैसा खींचता है हमेशा. So you must invest it. ताकि आपका पैसा आपको और कमा कर दे.
hmm,
That is my basic fund, I tell you.
hmm, hmm, hmm,
So one thing is saving and another thing is investment, that I always guide to the people. That everyone should do. In fact, children also, they should have this habit of saving.
hmm, hmm, hmm. I
Even not investing, but they should have a habit of saving.
राइट आई थिंक वो बचपन से तो सेविंग की हैबिट तो बच्चों में होती है, बट अगेन जैसे जैसे बड़े होते हैं, देन देयर इज दिस थिंग लाइक एक्सपेंसेस बढ़ते हैं, शौक बढ़ते हैं, तो देन इट बिकम्स डिफिकल्ट टू सेव मनी.
I do agree. It is very difficult because as in when you grow, you have different needs, you have different spending powers depending on that. But still, I think that you should have that habit. Parents should inculcate that habit of saving in books.
Absolutely. Great thought. Thank you so much, Ruchika, for this interesting conversation. And I think it was not even interesting, it was insightful for anyone who is handling money. Great thoughts. And thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you, Anjali. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be here and sharing my views to you, so that even if these views are helpful to any one person, that will be very grateful.
Great.
Thank you, Anjali.